In this video, we're going to look at the graphs we made in class to look for some patterns, some trends. So when we looked at how the foam thickness affects maximum force, we can see that with more thickness, there is less force. And that seems to be a linear trend unless we include the last data point. If we were to take out that last data point, like that, then the data appears to be more linear. We can even go in here and do edit the chart. I'm going to customize this, go to series, and change that to linear. So actually maybe it was better being polynomial. Alright, and at the same time, when we look at the time interval, we can see that with more foam, it takes longer time to come to a stop. So even though these collisions are happening pretty much faster than the eye can see, we know from the video of the golf ball being hit in slow motion that there is some time period by which the cart compression, the foam is starting to get compressed. And it's that time interval, as we can see here, is on the order of a few hundredths of a second. And there's another graph that we can look at which combines those two variables together into one graph, and it's the one here on the right. So time and force. And here we can see that with less time of impact, there's going to be more force. With more time of impact, there's going to be less force. And if we bring in one more type of graph here, which is the number of foam layers versus the area under the graph. So that area has data that sort of jumps around. And we can see that there is a slight upward slope here. Of course, there's a bit of error in these, or imprecision in these measurements. But we can see that there's no general pattern. That becomes even more noticeable if we change the scale to be starting at 0. So I'm going down here. This is off your screen. I can't drag it in. But I'm going to set a minimum value of 0 for that. And so now that I've done that, it's easier to see that this data is sort of just hovering around some value between 0.8 and like 0.95. And it doesn't really seem to be dependent on the number of layers of foam that we had. So nice work, everyone, making your graphs. And in the next video, we're going to work through some of the theory behind these results. So tune in to the next one.